Okay, the Bates Motel, season 2. I'll try and assess season 1, although it's been a while since I watched it. And I'm season 2. I just finished watching the last episode, and it's already fading from my faded memory. But there's certain things that stick out because, of course, they bring in other memories as well, like the sheriff, biggest criminal in the world. He actually commits more crimes than 90% of the alleged crimes that have occurred in the show. As far as I'm concerned, personally, murder 50% of the time isn't a crime. The teacher, whatever. She's a rapist, child molester, no big loss. If two drug dealers kill each other or shoot each other, that's an accepted risk. They chose that risk as a component of their job, as much as a soldier or a policeman. They die in the line of duty, that's their choice. They made it. No crime. It's what we call mutual combat. If two people decide to get into a fight, that's mutual combat. If one person just walks up and sucker punches someone else in the back of the head and then beats them until they're dead, that's murder. It's a very different thing, unless, of course, the person getting sucker punched was an adversarial drug dealer or other such adversarial criminal in relationship to thieves, to whatever. Now, the odds are it's very rare for a drug dealer to kill a civilian. They don't. Just like the mafia doesn't go around killing civilians. They kill each other. Families are families, but you know what I'm saying. Anyways, the sheriff, all the stuff he did, it leads to the delusions that most people, most of you watching this, or hopefully in the future when you watch this, don't realize that 50% of people in prison are there illegally. They are there with conjecture, convinced that conjecture is fact or will be taken as fact in court because they don't know any better, and their public defenders won't tell them any better. So that, you can't question a minor, you can't take DNA from a minor, the parent has to be present with the minor during any questioning from Miranda up. Okay? You can't Mirandize a minor because they're not of the age of consent. Technically, you can Miranda, you can question them. None of that stuff would have been admissible in court. The DNA was illegally obtained. The DNA, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. All those things are crimes. Those are all major felonies. Those are serious crimes, and those are the kinds of crimes that police commit every day. That's, as far as, basically so far, from what I've seen, not a single innocent person was killed. Of course, maybe in season 1, I can't remember. But in season 2, which I watched yesterday and today, I'm pretty sure nobody innocent was killed. Everyone was pretty guilty of the crimes they committed. Now, Vera, or Mama Bates, her acting is horrendous. She's like trying to be the center of every scene. She's doing that theatrical thing because obviously she's not an experienced stage actress. She's a B-movie harlot, and that's about it. This is a way. She must have slept with anyone related to somebody with the producer's credit on this to get this job. That's terrible. She destroys every scene she's in. Her expressions, the directors aren't doing their job. Cinematography's good. Sets are nice, believable. A lot of the other stuff is believable. It's passable. I'm giving it a passing grade. I just want you to understand the basic thing when you're seeing these kinds of things. Now, first of all, 90% of this wouldn't have existed if marijuana was legal. But like any business, a jeweler deals with millions of dollars worth of jewels. He carries a gun. Not because he's a criminal, but because his business determines the need of weapons. Okay? Doesn't matter. If your business determines need of weapons, you can't be, you choose to be in an illegal business, that's another story. But anyways, those are issues for another day. As far as the show, don't get misled by the procedures that they use, because in most police dramas and court dramas, they're violated every constitutional right at some point or another. I mean, incarceration pre-trial is virtually unconstitutional, because essentially what you're doing is treating an unconvicted citizen as a criminal. You're punishing them. They are housed with convicted criminals. Therefore, they receive the same treatment as a convicted criminal while they haven't been convicted, which is unconstitutional. They are sleep deprived before court intentionally. They are kept up. They woke up at 3 in the morning for long bus rides and bad food and no water, because none of the water is drinkable. I mean, barely good enough to use in a toilet. So yeah, the treatment of coercing people to accept plea bargains, because 95% of all inmates are coerced into plea bargains. 85% of all inmates are non-serious, non-violent offenders. Don't let shows like this make it seem like everyone that does anything is a criminal. Okay? 90% of violent criminals, as you would have them, are like Dylan. They're reluctant participants. Other people are forcing hand, and there's always that. It's like the 1% that want war and the 1% that want this, and it's not the 1%, it's a 1% of any group is the leadership and the violent. 99% of drug dealers are not violent people. They could care less. As a matter of fact, most drug dealers are very small and mainly do it to support their habit and don't carry weapons. Anyways, Bates Motel, watch it, but, don't expect, award-winning acting.